every single pipeline just failed with no webhook received. The culprit? A load balancer that dropped the webhook response because it timed out before the analysis finished. Let's break down Jenkins SonarQube QualityGates, how it works, and the exact mistake behind that failure. A Jenkins SonarQube QualityGate is a pipeline stage that runs SonarQube analysis and fails the build if code doesn't meet predefined thresholds like coverage below 80% or critical bugs above 0. It acts as an automated gatekeeper, ensuring only quality code reaches the main branch. Before setting up quality gates, ensure your environment meets the prerequisites. A running Jenkins instance with the SonarQube Scanner plugin, SonarQube 7.9 or later, a user token with proper permissions, and network connectivity both ways. In SonarQube, create a quality gate with conditions like coverage on new code less than 80%, critical bugs greater than 0, and code smells on new code over 100. Use the new code period to avoid penalizing legacy code, then set it as the default. Install the SonarQube Scanner plugin, configure the SonarQube server URL and token in Jenkins, then use the with SonarQube env step in your pipeline to run analysis. Test with a simple pipeline to verify the scanner works. The core of enforcement is the waitForQualityGate step. After analysis, add it with abort pipeline, true to fail the build if the gate fails. This step uses a webhook from SonarQube to get notified, falling back to polling if the webhook fails. For multi-branch pipelines, set the sonar.branch.name property to the branch name so SonarQube analyzes each branch independently. For pull requests, also set the pull request key, branch, and base to get accurate results. Beyond coverage and bugs, SonarQube offers advanced metrics like reliability rating, security rating, and duplicated lines. Start with a minimal set of conditions and iterate based on team feedback. Integrate quality gates with pull request checks by using the SonarQube plugin for your SCM. Jenkins can update the PR status based on the gate result, providing immediate feedback to developers. Before relying on waitForQualityGate, verify the webhook endpoint is reachable and returns HTTP 200. Use curl from the Jenkins node to simulate a SonarQube callback. The waitForQualityGate step requires SonarQube Scanner plugin 2.13+ and SonarQube Server 7.9+. In Jenkins 2.44+, the plugin may need an update if using newer SonarQube versions, 9+. Always check the plugin's compatibility matrix to avoid silent failures. Instead of aborting the pipeline immediately, set abort pipeline, false, and use a post block to send notifications. This allows the build to continue while alerting the team. A common production issue is the load balancer or reverse proxy timing out before SonarQube completes analysis. Increase the timeout on the proxy and in waitForQualityGate, e.g., timeout 600. Also, ensure the webhook URL is correct and the Jenkins endpoint is reachable from SonarQube. When quality gates fail, start by checking the webhook delivery log in SonarQube. Verify the project key exists, test token permissions with the API, and run the scanner with debug output to catch silent failures. To speed up quality gate evaluation, ensure SonarQube is properly scaled, use incremental analysis, and run the analysis stage in parallel with other stages. For large projects, increase the webhook timeout to avoid premature failures. Set realistic thresholds based on project maturity. Use new code conditions for legacy projects, involve the team in setting thresholds, and review gate failures regularly to adjust as needed. Monitor quality gate metrics over time using dashboards and alerts. Export data via the SonarQube API to create Grafana dashboards and set up alerts when coverage drops or bug counts spike. In cloud-native environments, run the SonarQube scanner in a container for consistency, integrate with cloud build services, and store quality gates and profiles in Git using infrastructure as code tools like Terraform. This is the same issue we highlighted at the start. Here's exactly why that happened. The SonarQube webhook endpoint was behind a load balancer with a 30-second timeout, but the analysis took 45 seconds. The webhook response was dropped, causing Jenkins to time out after 60 seconds and fail the gate. The load balancer dropped webhook responses after 30 seconds, but SonarQube Qua analysis took 45 seconds, causing no webhook received failures. Increasing the timeout to 120 seconds allowed the webhook to complete. The fix was to increase the load balancer timeout to 120 seconds and add a custom timeout in the pipeline using waitForQualityGate abort pipeline. False timeout 120. We also configured a webhook secret and tested delivery with curl to ensure reliability. If you forget to configure the webhook in SonarQube Qua, the waitForQualityGate step will hang until it times out because it never receives the callback. Always configure the webhook pointing to your Jenkins/SonarQube webhook/endpoint. Without sonar.branch.name, SonarQube Qua merges all branches into the default branch, making per-branch quality gates impossible. Add desonar.branch.name to the scanner command. Using overall conditions penalizes legacy code, causing the gate to fail on old, low-quality code. Switch to new code conditions so only new changes are evaluated. To diagnose quality gate failures, first check the webhook delivery log in SonarQube Qua. Test the webhook endpoint with curl, validate the project key and token permissions via the API, and run the scanner with debug output to catch silent errors. Let's run through some common interview questions. How does waitForQualityGate work? It pulls the SonarQube Qua API using the analysis ID to check the gate status until timeout. What are new code versus overall conditions? New code evaluates only changes. Overall evaluates the entire codebase. How to debug a hanging pipeline at waitForQualityGate? Check webhook logs, verify URL, and test with curl. And a few frequently asked questions. What's the difference between quality profile and gate? Profile defines rules, gate defines pass-fail conditions. Can a project have multiple gates? No, only one gate per project, but you can override per branch. How to skip quality gate? Set sonar.branch.name. Wait equals false, but it's not recommended. To wrap up, remember that quality gates are your automated code quality enforcer. Use new code conditions, always test your webhook, set branch properties for multi-branch pipelines, and start with a minimal set of thresholds that you can adjust over time. Ready to go deeper? Up next, Jenkins Credentials and Secrets Management, then Jenkins Security and RBAC, then Jenkins Distributed Builds and Agents. Find them all at TheCodeForge.io. Thanks for watching. The full article and code examples are covered in detail at TheCodeForge.io.